Welcome to this spotlight on the NIS2 and DORA frameworks. I'd like to start with a question I'm sure most of you are asking. Do NIS2 and DORA apply to the UK? While the UK is not bound to NIS2 or DORA as it's no longer an EU member state, UK regulators are making changes in the existing national cybersecurity laws to align to these frameworks, and for a very good reason. Also, UK businesses operating in the European Union or doing business with organisations that have a presence in the EU also need to comply with those two frameworks. In the UK, DORA is managed by the Financial Conduct Authority under the PS21/3 publication titled Building Operational Resilience. NIS2 is managed by the Information Commissioner's Office in collaboration with the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport. Where DORA applies to a specific sector, which is finance, NIS2 is broader and covers multiple critical infrastructure sectors such as the postal service, the transport, energy, utilities and pretty much any organisation referred to as operators of essential services or digital service provider. Let's focus now on NIS2. NIS2, or Network and Information Security, is a European Union directive aimed at enhancing the security of network and information systems, promoting collaboration among EU member states, and integrating cybersecurity into the core of organizations. NIS2 comes in effect in October 2024. It is an update of the original NIS directive made in 2016, and it aims to improve the resilience and facilitate a common understanding of the threats and challenges that critical infrastructure providers may face. NIS2 introduces stricter supervisory measures and enforcement requirements. It also increases the type of organizations in its scope. NIS2 features 5 main areas. The first area is cybersecurity risk management, where leadership teams must be directly involved on the decisions on risk management and be accountable for them. The second area is incidents classification and response, where specific timelines are set for dealing with cybersecurity incidents around early warning, regular notifications throughout an incident, and reporting. The third area is supply chain security, with a broader range of industry sectors now considered critical, increasing the number of organizations in the overall scope. Specifically, one thing to notice is that digital service providers, namely cloud providers, now also fall in the scope for NIS2. Area 4 is supervisory governance, explaining how leadership teams must be involved in the approval of risk management measures and undergo regular training on risk management practices, direct involvement from organizations' leaderships. Area 5, last one, is information security, around better integration of cybersecurity into the core of all organizations and fostering collaborations among EU member states. Let us now focus on DORA. DORA, or Digital Operational Resilience Act, is a European Union regulation around information and communication technology, or ICT. It aims to harmonise requirements around IT risk across the financial sector. It came to force in January 2023 and will become mandatory for the purpose of compliance in January 2025. The UK equivalent will follow suit within the same month of January 2025. DORA applies primarily to financial organizations such as banks, investment firms, insurance companies, as well as service providers and regulators. It allows financial services supervisors to oversee third-party suppliers such as, for instance, cloud providers. DORA is a risk-based framework. What does it mean? It means that it does not mandate any particular controls to implement, but instead organizations need to implement specific measures based on the risk they identify through testing activity. DORA also features 5 main areas: The first area is risk management, which is fundamental to the compliance of the DORA framework. It is, if you will, the core area. Risk management outlines details around the setup of resilient systems and tools that minimize the impact of ICT risks, the continuous identification of all sources of risks, the prompt detection of anomalous activities, and dedicates the comprehensive business continuity policies and disaster recovery plans. Second area is incident classification and reporting. All cybersecurity incidents should be classified, responded to, and reported in a timely manner and according to a standardized reporting framework. Initial, intermediate, and final reports on incidents should be provided to the firm users and clients, and also to the relevant authorities, using a common template and a consistent procedure. The third area is operational resilience testing. Elements within the ICT risk management framework should be tested for preparedness. Testing activity should include formalized testing program, which can include things like penetration testing, red-purple team exercises, and vulnerability assessments. Also business continuity testing, if there are business continuity or disaster recovery plans in place. Any weaknesses, deficiencies, or gaps must be identified and promptly mitigated or eliminated. DORA testing requirements must be proportionate to the entity size, business, and risk profile. What that means is that large organizations, such as banks, will need to test much more frequently than, say, smaller organizations like a local mortgage broker, which will only need to test either once a year or once every 2 years. So it's proportionate frequency of testing. The fourth area is third-party risk management, which is about assessing third-party ICT suppliers against risk, something which every organization should be doing anyways. Ensuring that contracts with third parties contain all the necessary monitoring and accessibility details, such as full service level description, an indication of location where data is being processed. Finally, the fifth and last area is threat information sharing between organizations in scope and relevant authorities to enhance collective understanding and response to cyber threats, and also to improve the overall resilience. How can Bytes help organizations who would like to comply with either the NIS2 or the DORA framework? Well, first and foremost, security solutions. We have solutions that help towards incident response and reporting, risk management, and risk mitigation. Arguably, every security solution contributes to the mitigation of security risks or ICT risks, but also services. Some of our services apply to both the NIS2 and the DORA framework, and they are the virtual CISO service, which includes a risk assessment and a cyber strategy and regular executive briefings with the organization leadership team, but also incident response and reporting as a service. We also have services specific to the NIS2 framework, and these are strategic consultancy, advice and guidance on how best to become compliant to the NIS2 framework, and also gap analysis exercises. On the DORA front, our services include penetration testing, red or blue team exercises, and things like digital forensics and risk assessments. If any of these are of interest to you, or if you have any questions about any part discussed in this video, please feel free to reach out to your aligned Bytes account manager or email tellmemore@bytes.co.uk.